Hello, and welcome to another art challenge. I'm going to be doing another day in the art challenges. I'm going to be working on some more He-Man fan art. I made some progress on this guy, and I thought I would share it, and then maybe do one more, and then probably that'll be it for this, because I guess I want to get back to the comic, but I just wanted to do one more, just for the sake of having more than one done, you know? But, yeah. So let's see, which one should we do? Find the list and write them up. What do we have? I'll get the music going. Let's see. I don't think it's going to let me play that anyway. So, yeah, it's YouTube safe. Instrumental. And then I don't think I can play any of my music with that. So, yeah. Oh well. Okay. Do some quick warm-ups and then we'll get to work. What is happening? Did it... Oh. Why can't I hear anything? Oh, because... Okay. Okay. That's a new one. Is this a random one or... I don't know. It's a cool start. I like it. Oops, sorry. Okay. HeMay art challenges. Okay, today is Battle Cat versus Panther. Ah, of course. the two cats. Could always do one of the other ones too. Like, who's Whiplash? What did Catra look like? That'd be kind of fun to do tomorrow's actually. Oh, that was literally just one song. That's why. I'm like, why is it just playing one? Weird. Oh, right. I should. I'm proof that I'm not a She-Ra fan. Catra was the name of the half cat lady in from that show where she was like she looks so different than the old one. Honestly, that's one where I really like the redesign way more. Because she looks definitely better in the newer one. But, I'll do, I guess I could. What are the name of the cats? Who should we draw? Who should we draw? Orko. I don't know. I'm already getting cold. I'm worried I'm already getting cold feet for this. Like, I guess we just draw He-Man again because I didn't finish that one up. But first, let's do the poses, and then I'll get to work on drawing He-Man. And then after I done a sketch, because I'm probably not going to finish it, I'll get to work on the comic because I do want to try and get some of it done. So, yeah. You're just trying to make me crazy. No, it's just a long song. That's why. So waited. Okay. Why does it do this sometimes? I don't even know what makes it do this randomly. There must be something in the because it didn't do this last time. Or I don't think it did. That's too high. Hope everyone had a good day today. Mine was okay. Yeah, just okay. Oh, since last week, I did actually get to watch that the Gameaverse pilot. It's really good, and I am so excited. I hope it sounds like it made it got a lot of traffic. Like it's got like several million. Like what was it? Like quite a really big number of views. Several million at least. I can't remember exactly the count, but hoping it was enough for them to. I mean, I assume it should be enough to get them to move forward with their project. So, which I believe. I mean, I think they were doing anyway because they were optioned by Glitch, or like not optioned, but they were they're working with Glitch. So, and yeah, it's pretty exciting to see a project that I saw develop early on get this far. It's just maybe on Friday what we'll do is I'm just gonna work on a few different principles within my characters again because I haven't done one of those in a while. Because I would like to do some work on some more characters for the upcoming part of the story. I want to refine them more because they're very rough concepts right now, and I really want to make them better. Even if they are just appearing once, I want them to look nice. So I'm gonna mix it and make maybe a little bit of a clothing mixed with silhouette conversation where like I just go over like a few things about that. And I can perhaps like leave some recommendations for places to go. For more research on your own if you're interested. Maybe it's just how I'm feeling now, but I'm not sure I'm going to do Art Fight this year. Or if I do, I don't think I'm going to do it seriously. I got so much other stuff to do. I just don't see how I'll have time. So, I mean, I met some really great artists through that last year, so I'll try and do like one or two. But I don't know. Kind of. Maybe it's just today, but I'm just not feeling it right now. Did my nice. Hey, when I do that, I gotta get. That's why you should always like just. Speaking of character design, always make the feet like no matter what. height you're planning, make sure you get the bottom planned out first, because that's you'll end up like this. And if you're drawing on paper, you don't have this option. I mean, unless you draw really smaller and then just, I don't know, just. It's a different plane looks next today, but wish I felt I had this energy. Okay, next pose. I'm really not like. Why is this so different? Did I choose a? There. drawing, and then we'll get to work. Maybe put more. Oops. What is wrong with this stupid player today? Guys, I chose this playlist. Please play all tracks. There. There's just days where everything's just trying to set up to make you more stressed out. And once again, I did it again. But it's okay, because this is just a sketch, so it's fine. At least I didn't do it with the foot this time. I did it with the arm. Drawing the scout art one was really fun, so I just don't want you to think that that I'm worried about this. Like, working on the fan art's been really a lot of fun. I usually don't do it, but when I do it, I always make sure it's something that I enjoy. And that's always a good rule with any art. It's always, don't ever just follow I don't agree with following trends all the time. I'm not a great person to talk to because I don't have a huge audience. But I just think that's a really insincere way of doing art, unless you really... Because you have... A big part of art is communication, and if you have nothing to say, then what are you going to communicate? Like... That's why I usually don't... I usually just tell my friends that do other kinds of art, like I tell them what I'm doing, but I never tell them if they're like outside that area of interest to do it, because I'm like, I wouldn't want to throw them into an art challenge that they're not going to enjoy. That would be unfair to them, because they have a limited schedule too. They don't have time to... That's why I don't try things like the March of Robots back in when March was happening, because, I mean, don't get me wrong, it might be good to try and learn that, and maybe one of these months I'll do I'll include robotics with an area that I want to improve upon, and just like spend a session drawing them because I need improvement in that area. But I don't think I would have anything to add to that challenge. So, I don't know. Okay, let's get to work. Well, this is the one I did. It's of Skeletor. I think it's pretty. I mean, there's still a few areas that might need to be improved upon, but okay, it's playing more than just. It's still in this playlist. Good. Here's my ref for Heman so far, but I don't like this still. I think it was a waste to do that even. So let's try a different pose and a different... Yeah, let's try something different. Oops. Let's find something different. Sorry, just go for a pose to start off with. Man, I'm just not coming up with a good one, am I, today? Hey, maybe that? That could work. Kind of a... Hi! Right? Yeah, I'm doing fan art tonight. I'm gonna work on some more He-Man stuff because I did I pretty much finished this up. I mean, I got maybe like some finer details to put in on it, but it's pretty much done. So, yeah, just like a few little like edges that might need to be cleaned up, but I think it looks pretty good. I need to just put in some more darks and this will be all set. So I thought I would start up trying to finish at least one or two more. I was going to do He-Man next, so I'm trying to just you know what? I got a better idea. Why am I doing this? I don't know why. Thank you. Yeah. I'll have him doing his "I have the power" pose. And give him some real muscle so he feels like he has the power. So go a little bit off of the model from the old days, but kind of like soup him up a little bit more so he looks bigger. Kind of. And maybe put like gray skull behind him. Like a gaping maw. Yeah. That should be good. Oh no, sorry. I'm just doing it in this mode, so it's like kind of more of a sorry. It's how I draw sometimes when I want to draw like a thumbnail. I pull it back so that I'm like not getting too far into the details. Because now I can go in and kind of like but yeah. Because then I can just go like that. We'll make this whole thing just gone because it's garbage. And then go on top of this. Yeah. Oops. Yeah. It's just so I can do like the rough concept without having it just. I appreciate the notice. I realized that the last time I did a recording, I accidentally, like, I don't know how I did it, but I think I shrunk down my view. Like this whole background was over here, so I fixed it so now it's back to being centered. Because that was weird. I'm not sure why that. I bet what happened was I was moving back and forth between screens and I accidentally dragged this. And that's what makes the most sense to me anyway. So. And I said that last time. I normally don't do these fan art, but a friend of mine's doing this, and also this has got I mean, I grew up in the era of this show, so it's kind of fun to try it out again. Back in the old Hasbro and all that stuff, or in Funimation and like Hanna-Barbera, all those kind of shows were back when it was just like, because of licenses that were given to companies, you like toy companies were allowed to pretty much make shows just about like characters so that they could sell them as toys. So that's how shows like this became a thing. And then later on, it was turned into a cartoon and a comic and everything, and the lore got much bigger. Same thing with like Power Rangers, like that. I realized like a few years ago I found those comics at my local comic store, and they definitely added a lot more lore. Oh yeah, I remember. The sword's got a weird, like, a really weird hilt. It goes like this, because the sword kind of goes, oops, like that. So we're going to probably... shrink this all down. That's okay though. I'd rather start big and then shrink down than the other way around, so. I don't think I had many of these toys. I had a couple of the G.I. Joe, and I had a bunch of the Transformers. My brother collected a lot of these because they also had these cheaper sets. I forget what they were. I think they were just called like oh man, I forgot what they were called. But you could just pick them up at the grocery store in these little I think 4-packs. And he would collect those. They were just default, so they were just like regular. I think they might have been G.I. Joes, but I think they looked really more like just regular soldiers that were like knockoffs that you could use. So I think he got those ones. And the only other thing I collected were Hot Wheels made this toy line called Attack Pack, and the vehicles turned into monsters, and it was pretty cool. One of these days, I'll do a drawing challenge or a drawing thing where it's like redrawing art from old toys. That might be kind of fun. Right Right now I'm trying to draw him as much from memory as possible, and then I'm going to look up his reference. Which, the movies or the series in general? Because the movies, I agree. But, like, Beast Wars was kind of fun. And, what were the other ones? I mean, like, and I guess compared to what? Because you gotta remember, these shows were around back... There wasn't Jujutsu Kaisen back then. It's not like you had, like, Naruto to compare Transformers to. So compared to Yogi Bear, I mean, Transformers was pretty exciting. So what were your favorite? What kind of those kids shows did you watch? Because you must have watched something. Oh, yeah, that's not a good comparison. The films are not. The first film was okay. But they miss the entire point of them, which is, you know, Transformers are robots in disguise, not vehicles that turn into, like, CG garbage in disguise. Like, honestly, Bumblebee was the only good Transformers movie, in my opinion. The first movie was okay, but I think Bumblebee's better because it feels more like E.T. mixed with Transformers, which I liked better. Because, yeah. The humans are the least important part of that series, but, like, Michael Bay made it his mission to make them the most important. And while I appreciate the fact that he made the military look strong, he also kind of made regular people seem stronger than giant robots. Except for that one guy. I forget what that one actor was name was, but he only lasted like 12 minutes in, like, what was it, the fourth one? And I only know about the fourth one because my friend, his son loves those movies, so I sat through it with them, and I was just like, I don't like this movie. They totally changed the Dinobots so that Grimlock was... I mean, Grimlock's always been stupid, but that's it. He's supposed to sound like a caveman. Because his thing was, Grimlock, I'm king! And then they changed it to, like, I'm a horsey. I don't know how you go from I caveman to I horsey. That's a big change. But I guess they're gonna make a He-Man movie now, and I don't like the looks of it, honestly. I don't like that they're gonna make it well, I mean, the last time they did a He-Man movie, it was modern then, but I'm pretty sure He-Man was taken into our world in that one. It wasn't like he was just, like, a random kid. Because it feels like that Dragon Ball Evolution, where it's like, man, I gotta study for home... I was about to say home ec. I gotta study for home ec. No, I gotta study for the math exam tomorrow, but I gotta beat Skeletor too. Oh man, and I don't have a date for the prom. It makes me think of that, like, what was his name? There's this one YouTube animator that did a, like, what if Akira was made in America? And it feels like that. It's like, Tetsuo's been kidnapped and the prom's tomorrow. And it's like, guys, what the heck? Let's see, it's a specific anime. Oh, here it is. Harry Partridge. Yeah, Harry Partridge is really funny. I love his stuff. But yeah, I don't know what is with this like really weird like strange trend that they do with these movies where it's like they won't understand it if it's not like in their setting. It's like, guys, Lord of the Rings didn't have to be in a high school for high schoolers to like it. You know, it's like it was just a good it was a good book that was made into a good movie and people liked it. The end. And granted, I mean, He-Man is not Lord of the Rings, but I'm pretty sure people would still just rather watch magic dude fight magic skeleton guy. But yeah, the problem with the other problem with the fact that they made humans the main point of those movies is that they took out all the stories of the character like relationships between the robots, and I can't believe that even a child's show from the 80s has more character development between the main characters than the movies. That's really not a good sign of your movie, guys. When something that's pretty much just a like commercial for kids had more depth, like the Transformers the movie, the animated one, was pretty powerful for a kid when you're watching that the first time. Like, I mean, some pretty big stuff happens in that and you're not really ready for it. Like, you're not modern cartoons, things like the main character being defeated in the first part of the show never, in like, I mean, in like in a permanent way. I can't remember how serious YouTube is about that, but I'm not going to say the word. But he is defeated, I'll say. Or but and for in a kids show, especially a toy line, to have that happen to the main character Optimus, it was crazy. Like, everyone was losing their minds until the second movie came out called Return of Optimus, and we're like, guys, why? Why did you call the second movie Return of Optimus? Like, whoa, you could have like let us on a little bit more. Like, I survived Land Before Time. I can handle Optimus being not around. Yeah, deleted. That's a good word for it. Yeah, he was deleted. But he gets like, they animate it like pretty brutal. Like, he gets like bits blown off of him before he falls. So it wasn't like an easy like, oh darn, you've sapped all my like life bar, I'm gonna fall over now. It was more like it was a vicious fight between two leaders, and it's got a pretty fun. And Orson Welles was the villain. Where are you gonna hear that? That's like when in The Great Mouse Detective, when Vincent Price was the villain, and you're like, wait, what? It's like, I'm sorry, once again, who? Vincent Price, the guy who does all the horror movies? He's the villain of a kids movie? Okay. Ratigan. Underrated Disney movie, though, I'd say. It was back in the days when uh oh my gosh, what's his name? Not Silver. Brain, come on, wake up. Don Bluth. Sorry, my brain had to like think for a second. But back when Bluth was part of Disney, before they started like, before he saw the writing on the wall and was like, you guys are just gonna stick to like a very safe theme, and you're gonna just like make us redraw these characters again and again the same way, so that you can shoot these out every few years. And he was right. They did. I just wish he had stuck around, because his movies were fun. I mean, they weren't perfect. Some of them were really bad, but at least I'd rather have some really bad with some really good. Like Secret of Nim was really good. So having that combined with maybe like A Troll in the Park doesn't really bother me as much. Because at least I remember those. Like, I feel bad for like some kids raised on like. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, Frozen has nice art, but it's intentionally done very similar to Tangled. But they all looked so similar. It would just be nice if these characters started to look a little bit more like unique and like felt like different art movements. You know, like. If you compare like Cinderella to Snow White to like Robin Hood, those are 3 different art styles from 3 different times in Disney's history. Yeah, well, you know why it was? Is because they made her a villain, and then they made her a song about being a villain, and then realized they wanted her to be the hero. Like, if they had stuck to their guns, it might have been a different film. And the only reason I won't say it's terrible is because I did get some nice memories of my niece running around the house screaming "Let it go," which was pretty funny at the time. But other than making her happy, yeah. Like, I'm hopeful for these newer movies. Like I'm hoping that things like what was it? Puss in Boots, the third one. I'm hoping that pushes these guys into making better movies, because that one actually had like a real arc and like real stakes, and the villain was actually really well written. Death was really scary, in like. I'm hoping that they're going to go back to that kind of feel, because even if they all even have a painterly feel to them in a way, I'd rather that, because paint can be changed. You can have different styles within it. So if they want it to be more expressive and be on loose frames in times, but we also get like a film that looks like a CG version of Cinderella, but not that. But you know what I mean? Like, something so drastically different from like Moana, where like the characters are like drawn differently, they have like different proportions. Because that's my main beef right now, is that everyone's got the same proportions pretty much all the time, and the only way to get away from that is to go to Sony or DreamWorks. And oh, but did you see the new Leica movie though? I mean, the new trailer for the new Leica one, Wildwood. That looks. I'm really curious for that. I really like Leica's been is always something I jump back to for just to see what they're up to. I love watching their making ofs. Shrek. No. Shrek 5? No, I didn't see that. Is that a good video? Because I haven't seen Shrek since like the second one. I think one really interesting making of video I saw that was well, Kubo and the Two Strings for Leica was a really great making of because you got to see them see how they do the stop motion, and like you got to see the different artists, and like the special effects artists for that looked like they're having so much fun. And there's like the people that design like the clothing for the characters looks fun. Everything about it looks fun. Even though it looks very tedious at the same time. It's the good kind of tedious. Oh yeah, no, I did see like a rough version of that. I mean, it was bound to happen. You get different, like they've changed. DreamWorks has changed so much since back then. But I get it. I mean, to be fair, like the Shrek that you know isn't even the original Shrek, because originally Chris Farley was supposed to be Shrek, but then he passed away, unfortunately. So they had to move it on to the next person that they could find, who was a friend, and he was a friend of Chris's, so that's how he got the role. Yeah, Mike Myers was a SNL person, just like Chris Farley, so they knew each other. Let's see, what's good? That's a cool version of him. I'll be right back. Get some water. Yeah. But yeah, it was pretty. That was pretty interesting having a hearing about like the whole evolution of the character. I mean, one of the famous lines from the first movie was improv by Mike Myers, where he was getting annoyed because they kept making him do retakes of lines, and he was just like, "Somebody's about to get a spanked bottom," or something like that. Like that whole line was just him being annoyed about like having to redo a line like several times. Because originally Shrek was gonna be Shrek was gonna be more of like about a young ogre that was trying to prove himself to his family. My question though is like, what is this next one even going to be about? Like they've done so many stories with this character. Where can they go from here? Like they covered him as a father. They've covered him. Well, first they covered him married. Then he's gotten over his image and all of his insecurities. So where are they going to go from here? Like, there's really not much left to do with that character. Oh, I get. I mean, yeah, I guess. It's just a shame that they have an entire world and they just made a Puss in Boots movie and they don't think that like, oh, I don't know, do a different character again because that might be more popular. But I don't know. I guess Myers needs another. Is Mike Myers coming back for him, or I didn't see who's voicing him this time? Because yeah, I don't. I'm scared to ask who's voicing the kids because that can be an iffy thing sometimes. Like some of these younger voice actors it's always tough. That's why I'm always surprised with things like Last Airbender or like what else? I mean, well, like I'm trying to think of other like young characters that were actually voiced by kids. But there's been a few, but I'm just blanking on some of them. Point being, it's just like it's really just it's much of a random chance if they're good as it is with like actual like young actors. I'll have to see what I'll have to check out the trailer because I'm not even sure what the conflict is this time. Doesn't it look? If I remember right, it looks like the dreaded two letters of the internet right now, AI. From what I remember, it looks very weird. Like it, it looks like if you typed in Shrek into an AI engine, kind of, where it's like just disappoint. Like, yeah, it's overly rendered, but in a weird way, and not in a like fun Puss in Boots way, more in a just like overly designed, but not, yeah, I don't know. It just looked weird, so I'm not sure what to expect. A certain time, maybe I might be able to forgive certain things if they had that kind of look to them, but like usually that's for background characters. You don't make your main character look like that and not expect people to be like, this looks weird. Do them with it. Oh, we're gonna. Yeah. Why is there a? Is that a different layer? I guess not. Weird. I don't know why that one part's darker, but it doesn't matter. I'm gonna move it over so you can see it better. Yeah. Oops. Now my art's in the way. Okay. Oh, I see. I was drawing with a off color. That's okay. Oops. Yeah. But yeah, I'm always nervous when Hollywood grabs these old licenses or just like even old franchises lately. They're just, I don't. I'm actually more excited about the prospect of like more of these YouTubers making movies, like what Markiplier did. I'm hoping more people do that. Because even if I don't like the channel itself, the fact that they're putting more pressure on them will make more people leave Hollywood and do more indie films that are actually indie instead of being indie as in like still part of the studio but just like an offshoot of the studio that pretends it's not part of the studio, like what Disney used to do. Because I think they had what, like Lionsgate back in the day or something, or I forget what they had, but they pretended they had their own, like that they could make adult movie or more like mature movies, and they gave it a different name, but it was still Disney and it still had the same like unspoken rule set. So same slop, different name. I mean, some of them were okay. Some of the movies were okay, but it wasn't as bad back then as it is now. I mean, like it's gotten to the point where I hate feeling like I'm very jaded about like Marvel, but it's just hard to be excited about them anymore. I used to at least be interested, and nowadays it's kind of like, eh. It's like, what random nobody character are they gonna make me care less about than I already did? And it stinks because I'm sure there's people that are like fans of those characters and have waited for them, but I'm like, guys, I hate to tell you, but your character's not like big screen material. Like I don't expect to ever see the Darkness the movie. I hope there isn't, because that's a very mature. I mean, that for a it's like a mature teen comic. It doesn't really. It shouldn't be in theaters. It was made by Top Cow back in the day, and I just liked it because of the art. The artist, I think it Mike was it. That wasn't Mike Turner. I mean, he did Fathom, but oh man, I'm forgetting who did it, but it had a cool art style kind of for the time. I don't get it anymore. I liked the Avengers back in the day, but it's really not my thing anymore. Like, I used to like them back when they were I liked them when they were cool. No. I I liked them before they became oversaturated and became much like their comic counterpart, where it's like there's too much. It's the reason I don't collect trades for comics, but I do collect. I used to collect graphic novels, because a graphic novel is like a book. You can read it once and you're like, that was fun, and then give it to a friend and be like, here, read this book. It's cool. But you don't feel like you need, like, I don't need to go like, okay, read this book. Now here's like 50 more books that are connected stories to understand this book, because you don't need that with a graphic novel, because it's a self-contained story. So, yeah. Like Fables is what got me back into even liking comics. And that's just like, I mean, that's an ongoing series, and there are trades of it. But I read them in the graphic novel form, and it's isolated enough even in that it's like it felt like its own story, because I mean, it is. But I just like the fact that seeing fantasy characters being turned into in more mature versions of them, of their old fairy tales. And this is before that TV show Once Upon a Time, so they did it first. But most, yeah, it's, I mean, it's just, like, for instance, like with Batman, my favorite stories for Batman are the either the animated series or standalone comics that were like Long Halloween, or well, what other ones are really good? I mean, what were some of the other ones I read? That Long Halloween's my favorite. I'm sure there's other ones, but that was like the absolute best. Or like with Superman, All Star Superman's pretty much like my go-to when I feel like reading anything about Superman, because it's like it's the real, it feels, it's him. It feels like a real story about Superman, instead of just like, let's just reach into Superman's hat of villains and just write a story about that villain. It actually felt like they were writing about what Superman means. It was. I mean, they created a Harley Quinn and Mr. Freeze. Like, well, Mr. Freeze was based off a guy called and what was it, like Sub? I mean, or Mr. Zero or something like that, or Negative Zero. I forget. It was something. It was a. He was a like Adam West Batman villain that was just a criminal that could use an ice gun, and they changed him into Mr. Freeze and gave him a story, a wife, and a tragic story, and that was really good. Same with Mask of the Phantasm with that villain. That was like, that movie still holds up as really good. Like, the animation in that is incredible, and like the music is phenomenal. Like, you don't. I think I was listening to like what was it, Bruce Timm talk about the making of that show, and he he still says to this day, I believe that like he was so lucky to get a hold of an orchestra. Like, how many shows nowadays have an orchestra? You know, like that was insane. Where you're just like watching Batman at like Saturday morning cartoon, but it's like there's like a whole like trumpets blaring and drums, and it's like you're like, this is epic. Like everything about this is just like way higher production value than any kid's cartoon would ever have, with the exception of maybe a few. But it lasted longer than most of those other ones that had that value, so even when it became more toyetic, it was still pretty good. Like when they remade Batman and they kind of like simplified the designs, I didn't like how they drew the Joker or Harley Quinn, but they changed Scarecrow, and I liked his design because he looked a lot scarier. It did disappoint me when I read an image, because back then I like the way you found out was Wizard magazine told you that it was coming out, and they pretty much said like the main. I think even in that magazine they admitted they interviewed the studio, and the reason it was changed was to sell toys, not because it was easier to animate or would speed things up, because they were already drawing it really fast, considering they were drawing on black paper or black film, which is crazy. Like if you ever watch the old show and wonder why Robin's shadows on his gloves are blue, it's because they couldn't get that color right unless they did that. Or it was something weird like that. But just the fact that they did that is just such a flex on their part of like being like, look, check this out. We didn't have to do it this way, but just to make the city look extra dark, we did it all this way. And then at least when they redesigned it, they also kept the city with the very dark theme. I was afraid it was going to start looking just like Superman, but Gotham still feels like Gotham, even in the newer episodes. So that's all I care about. And even when like Batman Beyond came along, that felt like that also had a very like dark Gotham feel, even though it was futuristic. I hear that they keep trying to make that into a movie, but no one's been able to make a movie about Batman Beyond yet. No, not really, because you can just get them on your maybe the digital version sometimes, but like but then in the 90s they did, which is why when I went searching for degrees in college, they said graphic design was a good degree, because back then it was. But then the 2000s came and no one bought magazines anymore, and like, I mean, don't get me wrong, graphic design to this day still pays a lot, but the problem is it's very specialized and it's only to a specific group of things, and like logo design and like corporate annual reports, that kind of stuff, and getting in the door is insanely hard. But yeah, magazines, no. Not many people read magazines nowadays, because I used to go into Barnes & Noble and grab the newest issue of Image of a... Well, yeah. I think is it Imagine or Image? I forget. No, I think it's Imagine... Imagine FX magazine, because they had, like, tutorials for art in there, like how to draw digitally and do character design and stuff. But now you can find tutorials on YouTube, or, you know, even like, well, I wouldn't recommend the ones on TikTok, but they're there. And there's also like discords that are just full of old tutorials too, so there's no real reason to like buy a magazine for any of that stuff. Like the only thing I might get is even like things like National Geographic are digital now, so why would you ever want another magazine on your bookshelf taking up space? Like sometimes with books, I do like to grab a book. Sometimes it feels good to like hold a book in your hands when you're reading it. But even with that, sometimes I just like I'll just tell myself I'm gonna listen to the audiobook for this while I'm at work or something, or on a trip, you know. So even that's kind of like depends. Move his feet closer together. They don't need to be that far apart for this to be epic. Oh, interesting. That's cool. Bugs in resin. Huh. I had a scorpion I think in resin once that my parents got from Arizona, but I always wondered what that's. I've seen some people use that stuff on YouTube, and I always wondered what it was like to handle that material. I never really tried it out. I used to have like, I had this little like not you could like hold an insect inside of it for a little while, and just like it was like a little container that you could put a bug in to watch, and then you would release it after a little, but because it wasn't meant for them to stay in it. But that was always fun when I was a kid. Oops, it's actually, isn't it weird? How come sometimes... Huh, they changed it. I think it might be, but is it toxic? I don't know. I've seen people, I think they're wearing special gear, but it's because it's really hot, I believe, when they melt it. So they don't want to risk it getting on their skin and burning them. But I think other than that, I don't know if it is too dangerous. I've seen some, I mean, I don't think it's toxic. Maybe the fumes might be. Because there's so many things I've seen, like, cast in resin. Like, there's, like, one person that makes, like, anime fights, and then they put the whole thing in resin so that it's, like, a light that you can put on top, and then it can be, like, lit from within, and you get, like, Goku versus Vegeta or something like that, but it's, like, all in resin. It looks pretty cool. I forgot the name of the artist that did that one, but I think she was on I saw her thing on one time I was looking around Instagram. That's pretty cool. Let's see, what does grayscale look like? Bum, bum. Oops. I know it's a skull, but what does it look like? Guys, it's the castle. Here it is. Okay. Here's the picture I want. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to copy it exactly, but I'm gonna come close because it's very iconic, and I kind of want to be true to it to a degree. It's not quite this. I was off. I put too many teeth in. But I was right on what kind of teeth. Because it does have these kind of teeth. It's just that there's like 4 on the top. And then 2 big ones going down the side. Like so. Bump, 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 bump. Let's actually down here. This one's here actually. I want to center it closer to being like right behind him almost. A little bit more. Or just bigger behind him. I keep almost getting tempted into doing 3D printing, but it seems like it's one of those things where it's like it's not as expensive as I thought it would be, but it's still not like the cheapest thing. It's still priced. There's still a bit of a price of entry where you have to like spend a few $100s to get the printer, and the material isn't as expensive as I thought it would be, but it's still not cheap. So it'd be fun to make like a model for my 3 main, or at least Richard and June figures would be kind of cool, just to have as reference, or just to have appear as inspiration, kind of. I guess it's... Huh, I guess it has never been this. I thought it was more like a Celtic cross, but it's more of a, like... this. Okay. Still a cross, but it's like a different kind, I guess. I did see there's like these sites that are popping up where like you can get a statuette made of original characters, but I always wonder, like, why is it so cheap? is always my question. Like, why are they charging so little for a single print of a statuette when, like, usually printers for like books, if you do like a single print of a book, they charge insanely expensive. Like, it feels like they might be stealing the ideal and then letting you print. Like, they're gonna hold on to it and pretend that they didn't just, like, they're not gonna just print it a bunch when you after you leave for other people. Like, maybe like a few years later, you'll look and see that as a toy or something. You're like, wait, what? And they're like, well, you didn't read the terms of service. We set it up. We owned it when you went to pay for it. That's the last thing I want for any of my characters. Right? Yeah, it feels like it's. It seems like it could be something. It just feels weird. It's kind of like when I look at like things like Temu and all these other like foreign sites where they sell things, and you're like, I don't know. This feels way too good to be true for these prices, and it usually is. Like, it always feels like it's like, I want to trust it because it would be great to have these art supplies for this cheap, but why is it this cheap? Is always my question. Like, either I'm giving away information, they're gonna use my information and sell it to like scammers or like other businesses to like call me endlessly. I don't like this. I'm gonna get rid of this. I'm just guessing here. I need to get this. Which is a shame because it would be so fun to have those models, but I'd rather just like pay a friend who had a 3D printer, you know? Be like, here's the art, I'll pay you this much for the material in your time. Thank you. Instead of being like, and then just make us him sign something agreeing that like he gives me back the file when he's done with it. I trust that far more than like some like place that some business that's offering me like $20 for a print of my characters when I'm like, why is it that cheap? Because I have done single printings of T-shirts. Um, I hear that with Temu, it's more of a that they scam you with those savings coupons they have. So as long as you don't do that stuff, you're okay. Because I saw this one YouTuber who did that, and like they kind of lie to you because they put things at like these like temporary sales, and then they mess with you on the price. So as long as you find things on there legit, I think you're okay. But yeah, let me know if you see if I think I did get. Did I get anything from them? Maybe one thing. I forget. that was a long time ago. So yeah, if I did it, I don't remember anything changing in my like email. So, but yeah, it always. What was it called? Let me see, because it always shows up in my Instagram feed. It's like want a figure made of your character? I'm like, no, not from you. Let's see if it's here. I'm just gonna browse really quick and see if I can get it to show up. Bum bum bum. Oh yeah, I just saw this thing. Apparently, someone's leaked the end of a Digital Circus, and I'm really annoyed about that. I don't get why these people keep spoiling shows, and think that they're fun, that they're being funny. Like it's such a. It's like that person that is you're waiting in line for like the movie, and they're like, "Hey, wow, I can't believe that Darth Vader is Luke's father," and you're like, "You jerk! I just paid $15 for this ticket." You monster. Why did you say that? Especially since it's the last episode of the show. So you think they could have a little bit more restraint. Then again, these are the same. If it's a fan that hacked it, the fans also harassed the creator for not having relationships that they were interested in covered in later episodes. I'm not looking into it. I want to be surprised. Let's see. I don't see it now. It's like the internet just like realized as I was onto it, and now I don't see the ads anymore. It's like he's onto us. Oh no! Quick, put everything in boxes. Hide. He's gonna expose us. Is this it? No, this is just someone who made a model. Yeah. I'll look into it because I'm curious myself to see if it's legit and there's no issues with it. Then maybe it would be something for that at least I could say is worth a try. I would never use my like. I would never make a I wouldn't want to use like Richard and June as my first tries. But if I had like a random character I drew like once, then I would be like, yeah, sure. If this ends up being stolen, I don't care. Do your worst. But the software they use is kind of weird too. Like if you don't have like a perfectly like a 3D template, it kind of like just guesses based off your drawing, and it's not very good at guessing the backs. It's kind of I think it just like AI's the back of the character if it's not 3D. So yeah, I don't see it. I'll have to talk about it next time if I find it because I'm not finding it here for some reason. It's like everyone's freaking out about the leak, so everyone's like only talking about that or complaining about Odyssey instead of just like not going to see Odyssey, and that's it. Yeah, I just thought I would check because I mean it's a fair question. Like, I wish I do. I still maybe I still have it as a link. Let me see. Because I might have saved it. Art. I guess not. Okay, it was worth a shot. Just gonna take one more quick scroll and see if it's here, and if not, then who cares? I'll look into it afterwards, and yeah, I don't see it now. That's weird. It always shows up on my phone. I don't know why it's not showing up here, but it's... Oh, that... What? Okay, I didn't find that, but I did find a YouTuber who makes covers for cases for your earbuds that are shaped like dinosaur skulls. That is pretty cool. I kind of want one. Yeah, it was worth a try. Yeah, exactly. It's retreated to the depths of the internet to hide from me, and I haven't been on it lately, so. Star-Sand Island. Surprising I don't have anything saved for it, because with something like that, you think I would have. Eh, I guess not. Yeah. Weird, because you think I would have. I guess I didn't. Okay, well, it was a yeah, right? That sounds pretty cool. I give up. Yeah, I always like to. That's one of the few things the things I love to find on Instagram are these artists that do these 3D sculptures, because it's just something that I never tried even. So it's always fun to see people that actually do make things out of different materials. Yeah, I give up. Let's just go back to working on this. Okay. Okay. So yeah, I don't think I've really even touched clay in forever. Like I don't remember the last time I played around with that stuff. Like I remember there was a long time ago when I picked up some clay and was like, I'm gonna make this into a model for one of my characters or something, or like I'm gonna make this into like a figure to use for a reference, and it's like never happened. It's like right after I did that, I was like, nah. And it just like stuck in my closet with all the other art, some of the other traditional art supplies I don't touch. Kind of like my oil paints, which I haven't touched since 2 apartments ago. Because they are messy. I like them, but they're messy. Oh yeah? That's cool. I'd like to try it again. I mean, I have this outside patio area. Maybe I'll maybe someday I'll just like set that up as an area to do that kind of stuff because who cares if stuff falls on a cement like an outdoor patio that's made of cement. It's I just like it's very easy to clean off, and even if it doesn't, it's clay. Who cares? Yes, that's cool. I like that. Because I used to use watercolor a lot, and I would like to get back to that, but I just haven't had a chance lately. It would be fun to try it out again, though, because I used a watercolor and gouache. I have a Kiritake Gansai watercolor set. Cornstarch clay people. I'm gonna look that up really quick because I'm curious now that you said that. Oh, no, don't play. Don't play. Oh, okay. Cornstarch clay. Quiet. Oops. Nope. Nope. Quiet. Sorry. Cornstarch clay sculptures. Oh, neat. I'll have to look into these. Oh, wow. These are cool. These look really high end. Like this one looks like I forget the name of the show, but there's this one show in Japan that has these. I think they have these where like they're really high end. They just look like tchotchkes kind of, where they're like or like collectible little sculptures, and they're. I think this might be the same. Is this the same material that they make those Pokemon cards, where like they make the Pokemon into like a clay figure, and then they take a picture of it out for the card? Because this might be what they did. Maybe. I'm seeing a lot of baking soda ones. Huh. Interesting. Well, if it's... That's what it's showing here. It's showing like these like baking soda, where you use water and baking soda and starch. Or... Yeah. So I'll have to try this out sometime. That's cool, thanks. Because if I ever got into it, I'd want it to be like this, where it's really cheap and like low stakes. Like if I have to throw it out, I don't feel bad. And with this, I won't. So that's perfect. Thank you. It's a great resource. Oops, no. It's too big. Yeah, it'd be fun to play around with that. Oops, no, I don't like, what brush is that? Trying something different. That's kind of, actually, that might work for what I want. Make a new layer jolt just so I'm care. 100%. It's gonna be like rain hitting him. Maybe not. Well, let's see. If I just lower it. No. It was worth a try. It's not quite what I want. But yeah, that's really useful. I'll have to give that a try. This, because like, that'd be a fun thing to try out this summer. Have you made anything fun with that? Like, what was the most complex thing you made with it, out of curiosity? Like, were you able to make an entire figure, or that seems like it'd be tricky? But if you've done it enough, then I'm sure it's probably doable. No, that's flowers. It's this one. I don't know. Guess it's kind of a texture. It's not really good for skin. It's more like a fabric kind of. So maybe for this. Maybe pushing the perspective a little. It's more like, yeah. Yeah, it seems like it'd be a. I mean, it seems like a good idea. Like, I'll give it a shot because I would like to try some. I would like to try to do some sculptures sometime. I mean, I've even like stepped into I have Blender on my computer, but I just haven't opened it really much. because that's an entire discipline in itself. But I've been trying to teach myself that a little bit. Because I heard that was one way to do animation other than Clip Studio or the really expensive way of using like what was it, Toon Boom or Paint. What is it called? Paint TV, I think. Were both really expensive. I mean, they're like the highest end, but I just don't want to spend that kind of money. That's a big. I mean, animating is already such a big time commitment, and then on top of that, having it be like expensive software, it's like, it's okay. I would like to make a animatic for this channel. Because I'm so close to, well, I'm getting closer to finishing the VTuber. I just gotta finish. I gotta figure out why it's not exporting. So I think I'm gonna this weekend. Maybe I'm gonna send something out tonight and see if I can get an answer. Because I really want to know why every time I try and export, it blocks me, and I'm very confused why. Like, it's very strange. Oops. Okay. Like every time I try and export it from Live 2D, it's like it says there's like an art mesh. It's not recognizing, and I'm like, what? Could you be more specific? Because art mesh could mean anything. Everything in this program is an art mesh. So you're gonna have to be a little more specific than art mesh not recognized. Please. It's like, what? No, I'm a program. I don't answer your demands. Curcio. This is kind of fun to draw this way. I know I could just use fill, but sometimes I like the feel of the brush stroke, kind of. It's a lot. It's like, yeah, it. Like my head goes off. I used to watch those like making of like Aladdin, and my head goes off to those guys because like looking at what they had to do was just like. And even now with like shows like Digital Circus and Lackadaisy and things like that, you're just like, oh my gosh, the work that goes into these. It's just incredible. And if you haven't seen Gameaverse yet, I highly recommend it. It's really good. Like I'm a big fan of Ross O'Donovan's work. He's Rubber Ross. He's really skilled animator. Like and a good and a evil designer of Mario levels, apparently. I saw this really funny video by Sayu. He's a VTuber, and he was saying that Ross said that he could only watch the pilot if he played and beat his levels in Mario Maker. And I was like, that's evil, sir. Making someone do those levels, which had what was it, like a 0.0015% chance of beating. And it's like, you are the devil. And the worst thing is, he put laugh tracks in his level if you fail. So, just like, man, salt in the wound, man. That's mean. Like I remember watching the Game Grumps try and do those back in the day, and it was just like, nope. Like they beat a few of them, but man, it took a lot of tries. But yeah, Gameverse is really good. The animation's really fun. It's got so many Easter eggs for old school video games like Mega Man and like Sonic and yeah, he is. He is really a rage baiter. Where he just delights in the lamentations of others. It's just like, oh, that your tears are so tasty. No, 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 no. It's like, yikes. No, I did not. Oops. Uh oh. No, 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 no. Okay. I'm thinking of doing this one entirely monochromatic because I think it works better for him anyway. Because I mean, his biggest moment was getting the sword and yelling, "I have the power," and then lightning blasting behind him. So I'm just gonna make this all about that. And then I can just focus on having fun with like the shading instead of like worrying about it being. Because I'm not gonna make. I don't see myself having enough time to do another one like this. Like, and I still need to fix this one up, like some of the parts of this one up. So, but I like this. Like maybe I'll make the sword the only thing that's not going to be in black and white. Like I might make the sword have a bit of a yellow glow to it. Not that yellow, but like, let's see, lower opacity, kind of just glow. Yeah, there we go, like that. And then just like maybe like do a light like bit of it on him, but otherwise like the rest is, yeah, I like that. like that. Yeah, because that way there'll be two light sources. One will be like the sword glowing, and then the other is just lightning. So he's going to be like illuminated by a blast of lightning and the sword. And just being pelted by rain. So I'll make like these. Okay. Oops, sorry, it's really small again. Yeah, it doesn't look right. I don't like that. Maybe just like a, yeah, like that. Yeah, it's also like wrong. Just playing around with like how the mouth is shaped. The castle will be far enough behind him that it's not being affected by the light of his sword, but by the lightning itself instead. In fact, kind of wish I had put it on different layers so I could put it further behind him. Oh well. Later. Excuse me. Oh, did I stop me? No, no, no. I could find, let's see, a good brush for this. I guess we could just do like that. It is exciting seeing all these indie animations, though. Like I'm very curious to see like. We'll see how I'm hoping Knights of Guinevere is good. The pilot was hard to tell because typically with even anime, sometimes like I give my heart like my more critical critiques of things after I see 3 episodes, which is why I'm surprised that I even like Gameaverse after the first one, because usually it takes me a little longer. But like Gameaverse and Gaslight District both look just really good from the start. Like everything about them is really fun, really cool characters in both of those. It's just that Knights of Guinevere feels very plot like I don't know, it's hard to it seems like it's going to be very character centric in a in the plot, and so it's hard to tell how it's going to go without seeing how what they do with the characters in more than one episode. Because I've only seen some of their. I've seen this creator's other shows because she did what was it, Owl House, and that was okay. I wouldn't say I'm not one of the ones who's like it's the best show ever, but it was okay. Oops, what am I doing? I don't need that to be dark. Yeah. Is this the layer that it was? Why did I do that? That was dumb. That was dumb. Should do this on a different layer. I'm also wondering when they're gonna bring back more episodes of Mighty Nine because I really like that show. That was fun. Like I watched I listened to the entire like campaign from Critical Role back in the day, and I like it. It was a fun thing to listen to in the background sometimes, and like I like the characters and. Like I keep saying it'd be fun to be in a D&D campaign, but I just don't have the time, so it's kind of fun to listen to them do it. Kind of like how I listen to Legends of Adventurous sometimes in the background too, because those guys are just goofballs. Like everything they say is just like beyond bizarre and goofy, and it's like, what are you guys doing? It's so strange. Yeah, and I would say also like if you ever wanted to look up some good old animations or like really talented artists, Goblins used, I don't know if they still do this. They used to have festivals every year, and they might still do them sometimes. But like they it's like a French animations festival or something like that, I believe, and it's some really good art comes out of there sometimes. Sometimes it's good, but in the past it was really good. So those shorts can be really good sometimes to check out just for like inspiration, or just some of the stories are really fun. Oops. What am I doing? This is. One thing I want to check out later this month is I think Iron Lung is coming to YouTube for, I think you'd like rent it or purchase it. And I'm just gonna rent it and watch it on there. So I'm really curious to see what it's like. It seems interesting. Like I watched him play the game, and so I'd be really interested to see how he adapted it into a movie. That just makes it. That doesn't look right. How are we doing on time? Eh, pretty good. I thought I would do more tonight, but I guess this is fine. Honestly, I'm having more fun with this than I thought because I started today kind of grumps, but I'm you showing up cheered me up a bunch, so thank you. I just had a tiring day, and I just feeling a little down. But then talking to you cheered me up a bunch, so I really appreciate that. I'm excited to try out that thing with the clay. I'll have to look into that because I do have most of the. I just have to get some starch, but I do have baking soda. So I mean, like I said, all that stuff's easy to get. So worth a try. I have the power, right? Yeah. Let's give him a little more depth. Hello. Oh, no problem at all. I understand. I'm glad you could catch some of it. I'm glad I stayed on longer today than usual because like some days on Wednesdays I don't have the energy to stay on this long, but I started doing these fan art ones for May for Heman because I used to watch the show as a kid, and it's been really fun. Like I'm having a blast. And this one I'm doing monochromatic with the exception of the duochromatic I should say because it's got yellow in it too. But because this one I did in I did in color. Oops. And like it came out pretty good. I mean I got to clean it up a little bit, but it's yeah, no problem. I just Thanks for dropping by. I meant to ask. Oh well. Yeah. Hey. That's Skeletor. Curse you, He-Man. I was saying earlier how I am curious. You probably have to leave really quick, but I was just curious if you're going to do art fight this year, because I'm on the fence. Not because of all the drama, but with the tracing and stuff, but more just because I don't know if I have time. But I might try to do a few. We'll see. Thanks. Yes, this is He-Man in all of his power. I kind of wanted to give him like an Arnold Schwarzenegger kind of build. So I guess more like a technically a Conan the Barbarian build. He's just muscles for days. I'll come out even more a little bit because I'm having fun. He's gonna be bulky as bulk. Okay, then I'll do it as well. Like I said, I definitely want to do at least one or two. So, yeah. And honestly, I think people misunderstand. From what I've heard of the tracing thing, people are misunderstanding it because they're not going to witch hunt people. I think what it comes down to is if someone gets offended by it, it's always been there kind of. And if someone just says, "Hey, by the way, I'm not gonna," it's like, could you redraw this, or could you not do this on future drawings? Then you should just honor it and be like, "Yeah, okay, no problem." But I just don't see people doing that anyway. So, like, I've always had like reference of some kind. I'll put like 8 images next to a person's drawing of like things I want to use that are based around that character but are like photogenic or are based on like what they were trying to draw so that I can draw in my style. And or like I just like we'll just pull their character over a like 3D model in my mind but have a post next to me as like a reference for the skeleton, you know? So I don't think anyone's gonna throw a hissy fit about that, honestly. And like I've run into far more people like you that were just fun to talk to and were like just had a good attitude about drawing in general than people that were like, my points. It's like, who cares, dude? Who cares about... Why are you playing this? The points don't matter. You're supposed to be these are gifts. You're supposed to be having fun. Yeah, I was just so happy that I met so many nice people like yourself that were just like good sports and just were fun to talk to and draw. And yeah, I hope I run into more people this time. So yeah, that's my point of view on it. Right? Totally. Yeah, I think I just find more inspiration from just like looking at other people's drawings and like, like oh, better feed because they'll never forgive. But yeah, I'll be on as well. So I look forward to. I definitely want to try and do one of your OCs this year too. But excited to try out. I'm gonna put up some new ones too. I don't know how many. I'll have to look and see how many new things I have. I think I have a few new characters. Like I don't, because I've been working on the comics so much that I don't know how many I have. But I'll try and pull some stuff out if I don't, just to put up there. Must satiate the cats. That's too much. That's there we go. That's brighter. See if I have a good brush for like the rays. Actually, I want to make some lightning coming off of the blade too. So maybe I'll make like a bolt of. Yeah. Really epic. Bolt of lightning. Good night. Thanks for dropping by. Thank you. Yeah, that's Grayskull. Yeah, thanks again, Finch. That you really cheered me up today. Oh, both of you have, but yeah, that was. I'm glad I did the stream tonight. Oops. I'm gonna leave it like that. I might push him back though. I mean forward, because I think he's competing too much with the background, and I think he'd do better if he was further in front of it. But I'm gonna play around with it some more to see. A light version, and then just kind of, yeah, like that. There we go. It's like I just want to put like a blotch behind it so they could be. Oops, no. Oops, this is, oh, I see why. This is the, actually, that's not a bad idea, because then I could kind of like, I need to lower it, make it smaller though. That didn't really do much. Yeah, because one of the biggest things I said about the art, like tracing in general, is like I also use like my own. I use other people's brushes in my art sometimes, and I mean, as long as I'm not selling it and without their, usually I buy the commercial version anyway. But like, so I don't really see a problem either way. But why is this? What? Oh, because this is a blur brush. My bad. Yep. Yeah, see, like this is a brush that someone made. It's like where it's smoke, or maybe clouds. But they work good for smoke. Me too, actually. I'm probably gonna call it soon. I'll be honest. But I was just having so much fun with this that I kind of just wanted to try like a little bit longer with it, but. I might finish this on Friday, honestly, because this is coming along good, but I do want to take a step back and let it. I don't want to over render it, you know. So I think I might call it here. But I'm happy that you were able to catch some of this. Oh, oh. I thought you meant you. I'll still work for a few more minutes. But yeah. This is coming along really good. I'd hate to rush it, but it's. Like this. Got this really cool like energy in this one. That's cool. That's really cool. I like that. I did something like that with my I might redraw it because I wanted to do a like I think it actually that might be one of my OC drawings this year is I did a drawing of the Steel Song family. They're the characters from my comic, all at the table for a meal. Oh, that was accidentally really cool. I like that brushstroke. Yeah. Okay. That's pretty cool. And because I wanted to do like and I was gonna just use it for maybe on the website, but also like make it like a portrait in the comic itself in the background, so I don't have to draw it in the background. Just like have it. But that's cool. I'm excited to see what you create with what your portrait looks like for your characters. I'd say reference. I mean, I'm sure you know this, but reference is your best friend. Like, just get a look at like a there's a couple different places you can go. Even like there's what was it? I think even like Lowe's or like certain like hardware stores will have like this thing where like for painting where like you can look at a room in 3D. But I'm trying to think of other places that do that too. There's a couple different places you can look where you can get like a dining room or something and get it from different angles so that you can like choose how you want to put your characters in in like a room in a house, or like I don't know if you're doing an interior, if it's an exterior. But there's a bunch of stuff like that that are really helpful. Maybe even like a soft aura around him too. He's kind of like, he's got like a light. No. Wait, that should have worked. Why didn't it work? Guys, why didn't it work? No, not that. Just too bright, too bright. No, that's wrong too. How are we doing on time? Okay, yeah, we're pretty close to. But yeah, oh wait. Do you know someone that does? But take like some pictures. I hear that. I mean, that would be probably a really good place for just like some really cool, like some really good photographs of yeah. I don't know. Oops. I didn't do that. I mean, because you never know when that stuff will be useful in the future. Plus, it's just nice having the memories, obviously. That's grass. Is that, what's this one? Oh, leaves. Oh, cool. I read that out of order. So I read, who are Dominican? And I'm like, I don't know. I read the wrong tone for that. That was funny. I'm like, you're asking me? cool though. Then they'll be able to tell you all the best spots to go. That's awesome. I might lower this because it's kind of, yeah, that's a little better. It was just a little too bright that you couldn't see the edges. Dos cervezas, por favor. Just kidding. Don't say that. Especially if you don't drink, don't say that. It just means that's just asking for beer. I used to know how to swear, but I forgot, so I can't help you with that. Right? Yeah. I think so. Yeah. That's kind of what I was going for, actually. I'm glad you see that. With Conan the Barbarian meets Heman is was definitely what I wanted for this. Oops, nope. No. I'm just trying to get this like rain down right now. But I don't think I have to go too far with it because I thought I had a brush for rain, but I guess I don't. There are a lot of effects in here, but not rain. Yeah. It's just diagonal lines, honestly, so I guess it's not that big of a deal that I don't have a brush for it. He's like in torrential rain, just going, power of Grayskull. Cool. Well, it's getting late, so I think I'll call it here though. But thanks so much for dropping by. I'm glad you could catch some of this. And I'll try and finish this probably a Friday, but we'll see. Maybe I'll finish tomorrow. And I'll post it up on I'll do time lapse for this and the Skeletor one. Because I had fun with both these. So, yeah. And I'm excited to see what you submit to the art fight. So, yeah, I look forward to drawing those. I'll probably do some of those on here, actually. So, look forward to that in the future. And, yeah, have a wonderful night. And hopefully maybe you'll be able to catch my stream on Friday. If not, that's fine. But I'm glad you could catch it tonight. So, have a wonderful rest of your night. And, yeah.